Hi there everyone, it's Lydia here, and today I'll be sharing with you how I created this card with a little technique to get lots of depth and shading on your solid image stamps. So I'll be using this set from Altenew. This is Modern Dear, and I'll be using a MISTI tool as this makes this technique super easy and quick. So I've just added it to my MISTI tool and I'm inking her up using the Sand Dunes crisp ink, and I'm just pressing her down. I haven't really got the best image, but I'm not going to worry too much about that because I only want part of the image to be seen. I have then inked her up again with the Rocky Shore ink, and then I'm removing some of the ink from the places that I don't want it using a blending sponge. So this will help the other colour come through, and then the other bit that I've just done would be darker. So I'm then going to do the same again with the mocha. And I'm just taking the sponge again, removing the ink from where I don't want it. I just wanted a little extra ink, so I've just added a little bit more of the mocha and then removed it again. It also helps the blending look really natural using the sponge. You could do other ways, but I think this sponge works the best. So I'm going to take the last from the brown set. This is the Espresso, and it's a really lovely dark brown. And I'm going to add this to the places that I want it. I'm then going to take the sponge again to make the edges a bit more blended and natural, and then I'm going to stamp her again. And then that's 4 layers of different colour on a solid image stamp, and I think it looks really good and natural. I'm going to pop it back into place on my MISTI, and then I'm going to add the little detail stamps that come in with the set. These are a little hooves, so I've inked those up using the mocha, and then again with the Espresso, and then using the blending sponge just to take the ink off the top, so she has little blended hooves as well. It also has a little face image which comes with the little stripe down her back, so I've added this into place, and then I'm going to take a dark black and stamp her face and the stripe at the same time. I think she looks so super cute. I then wanted her to be in a little snowy scene, so I've decided to cut some slopes either side of her. I don't want to cut through her little legs, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the plates right up to her legs. This means that the pressure will only be between 2 of the plates, so it won't cut through her. And I'm going to do the same on the other side, so I've put the plate on, buttered it right up to a leg, and then I've run it through my machine. So it'll only cut where the pressure is, so you can see she's there, but the slopes are either side of her. I'm going to take the same die cut slopes again, so these are like a landscape, and I'm just going to place these down on a piece of white card. I will run these through my machine just once, so I've got one cut at the top, one cut at the bottom, and all I'll do is I'll take this over to my guillotine, cut through the centre, and then I will have 2 slopes so I can have these behind her. Once I've cut the 2 slopes, I'm then going to cut my deer out from the background. So all I'm doing is I'm taking my scissors and I'm going around the top edge of the deer. I'm just leaving a little white border, as I don't think this is going to distract much from the background, as it will be quite a light one. So I'm then going to add some colour to my card base, and this is just at the top of my card, and I'm using the Volcano Mist at the top, and then also the beautiful Mountain Lake to blend this colour out. You could just use the Mountain Lake if you wanted to, as the inks are transparent, so you can layer the colours up to make them darker, but I find that adding the bit of the darker colour at the top makes the blending easier for me. To add a little more interest, I've taken the mini snowing stamp from Altenew, and I'm just using some white pigment ink to add this to my background. As it's such a large stamp, it doesn't take long to cover the piece that I wanted to cover. For my sentiment, I'm using the Holiday Wishes stamp set, and as you can see, because all of the stamps are on a clear transparent sheet, you can actually play around with the ones that will fit better on your card before actually stamping them down. So I've added the large one from the set, and this is such a really great sentiment, and I'm just going to ink this up with some black ink before stamping it down. As I'm using my MISTI, I wanted it a little bit darker, so all I'm doing is I'm going to ink it up again and stamp it down just so it's more visible over the deer's hooves. Now I have all my card elements, all that's left to do is put the card together. I'll be adding the first 2 slopes down just flat using some tape runner. Because I want this to be a card that I can send in the post, so it's not going to have too much dimension, but it will have a little. So I'm just adding the tape runner to the bottom, and to the deer I've added some large foam pads to its head, her head even, and some medium-sized pads to her legs, and then I'm going to pop her down into place. And that's the card finished. I really hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you'd like to see more, please visit me at lydiaevansdesign.com.